saving $1 million for retirement. It sounds scary, but that does assume that you don't want to use up any of your balance, which I think is quite a key thing for a lot of people. The $1 million wanting to live on $40,000 a year. But if you're happy to use up your capital, then you don't have to save as much. If you're not planning to leave it all to children, then you can have a bit of a better time on less money.
Yeah, so as you say, it depends on when you started saving. But then one wonders, how many of people heading towards retirement in the next sort of 5 to 10 years would be actually on track for saving anything close to that?
Yeah, so I think there probably is, at the moment, more concern in that sort of 50-plus age group because they haven't had, or they won't still have the time ahead in KiwiSaver to get them. And average balances are pretty low, I think, from memory in that 50 to 65 age group. They were about 50,000, but that is, to be fair, it's dragged down by the number of people who don't really have anything in the KiwiSaver accounts. And I think most of the time the average balance was 79,000, but still that's nowhere near $1 million. So you'd hope that they have other things going in there. But I think the message for those people is that it's never too late to start. Whatever you can do now will help. And maybe for some people they do end up working later so that they can save more together.
Yeah, it was interesting the other day, I think on the business news we had a story about how these tougher economic times meant that people were slowing up in their retirement savings and using that money for everyday items. So I'm wondering what the general advice is when it comes to how much people need to save.
Yeah, well, I mean, realistically, it's probably as much as you can, but generally you'd approach it by looking at what you want to end up with, and then you work backwards, and you use this rule of 4, which is you can bring down 4% a year and not erode your capital at all. Probably bring down a bit more if you don't mind not leaving the whole thing there, and then work from there how much you lump sum you need, and then back from there. But that does expect that a lot of people are spending a lot of time thinking about their retirement savings, which probably isn't particularly realistic. So I think the best advice is probably that you set up your KiwiSaver as well as you can from the beginning, and then just try and increase your contributions if you can as you go along, and use compounding as much as you can to get to that amount that you need.
Thank you, Susan. That's Susan Edmonds talking there about retirement savings and whether you actually do need $1 million. Well, our visual photoist Nick Monroe hit the streets to find out how much people reckon they would need saved up to comfortably retire.
$1 million. I really don't know. That's kind of an impossible question to answer. Yeah, probably more than you think you need.
Well, I think if you're on a pension, we found that around about 600,000. I think you're going to need lots. I think you can't plan for the unexpected. People are having trouble meeting the cost of living now, so if you don't save at least $100,000 by the time you're 65, then I think you're in trouble. You always have something to rely on, don't you? You never know where your income's going to come from. You don't want to spend the last good years of your life doing what you want to do but can't do it because you've got no money.
You've got to keep up with the cost of living. And really, we don't know what's going to happen with different governments and how much they get us in debt. You worked out years ago where before we actually retired, we decided that we needed so much, but because times have changed, it actually wasn't really enough for now, was it?
I think it is when you get if you get a pension to back up what you've got.
Yeah. But it is very important to save.
2101 on text. Love to hear from you about what the magic number is you reckon for retirement savings. What's realistic? What do you think you need in order to retire? Tweet us at checkpointrnz, or the email address is checkpoint@rnz.co.nz. Also interested to know if you're still saving for retirement, because some people have pulled the handbrake on because of the cost of living. The All Blacks are days out from their second test with the Springboks, the first of which saw the All Blacks face a narrow defeat to the South African side in Johannesburg's rowdy Ellis Park Stadium. The next game will be played in Cape Town, where our very own Jamie Wall is standing by. Okay, Jamie, what's happening in the city in the lead up to the game this weekend?
Yes, kia ora, Lisa, and good morning from Cape Town. It's been a really big build-up towards this game. For people who don't know, Cape Town is a place where the All Blacks actually get quite a lot of support. It's something that goes back to the bad old days of apartheid and how the local coloured community community didn't want to support the Springboks as they were a racially segregated side back in the day, and therefore supported the All Blacks, who came over back before 1902, back before the country of South Africa became what it is today. A lot of that support has stayed on. Obviously, the Springboks do get a lot of support here now. But there are very vocal fans. The All Blacks had hundreds of locals meeting them at the airport, and have fans camped outside their hotel all week. So that's been a pretty cool thing to be able to see. Another thing that's happened this week is the teams have been named. There's quite a few changes to both, which might get a little bit later. But an interesting thing that happened at the Springboks press conference yesterday with Coach Rusty Erasmus is he revealed that he took a bit of a soft line on an incident that happened last weekend's test that a lot of people have been talking about when Sam Cane's shoulder appeared to impact Captain Sia Khaleesi's face and left him with a slightly fractured cheekbone.